everybody, it's Michelle, and today I've got for you a full body mat Pilates workout using a small set of hand weights. So I have these 2-pound toning balls. They're a little bit on the softer side, kind of easy to grip. You're welcome to use this kind of style, or even a traditional hand weight style is great as well. So pick something that's on the lighter side. We're going to be doing a lot of things with our arms fully extended, so nothing too crazy heavy. And once you've got your weights ready, let's get started. So you're going to come down onto your back. We're going to reach our weights up to the ceiling and get into a nice neutral spine. So there's just a slight gap between your lower back and the mat. You're going to reach your arms up directly over your shoulders, and then just start circling your hands and kind of revolving your wrists around a little bit. And this will work with whatever style of weight that you've got. If for some reason this doesn't feel good, you can drop the weights for this or for any of the exercises that we're going to do. Okay, so you just listen to your body. Now go ahead and reverse the circle you're making. So we're just kind of waking up our wrists, our forearms, our hands, getting them ready for all the fun things we've got planned. All right, now end up with your wrist joint nice and neutral and your palms facing each other. Now we're going to take a breath in and just widen your arms out to a T and just take a stretch here. So you're going to place the backs of your hands all the way down on the floor and pause, and then reach your long arms back together until they meet. Do that again. If that doesn't feel good to do while holding the weights, then you just set your weights down and go without. Good, but we're kind of using the little bit of added weight that we get from our hand weights to get a nice stretch and opening at the front of our chest. Yeah, let's do this 2 more times. So inhaling on the open, and then exhaling as you re-engage those stretched muscles to come back. All right, let's do that one last time. Feel your ribs staying nice and heavy onto the mat. Good. Now, instead of setting the backs of the hands down, we're just going to hover right before they touch the mat. So pause an inch or so off the ground and then close back together. Inhale to open and then exhale to close. Stopping right about at or above shoulder height. Yes, and if you'd like, when your hands come back together, you're welcome to give them a little squeeze to connect to the pecs and shoulders a little bit more. All right, you guys, let's do this 2 more times. So really feel your scapula gliding across the floor and make sure that neutral spine is still there. Now, pause with the arms pointing up to the ceiling, separate them to shoulder width apart, and then go into a scissoring motion. So splitting one arm high, one arm low, and then come back to the start. So exhale as the hands drop away from each other, and then inhale as they come back. Very good. And all throughout, we're keeping our spine in this nice neutral position. The ribs have a tendency to want to pop off the ground. Yeah, so feel that nice heaviness drawing into the floor. Good. Few more times. You want to have the weights kind of end up about the same height off of the ground from each other, so you're getting a nice equal reach. Very good. All right, you guys, let's do this one more time. Just kind of waking up the shoulder girdle. Okay, now combining the 2 exercises we've done so far together, we're going to do a windmill action. So this one's a little bit confusing at first, but just stick with it. So I want you to take your right arm high and your left arm low into that scissor. Now take your arms and just draw a circle till the arms reach to the side. Now continue that circle until the arms have switched positions, and then bring both arms back to the ceiling. Now go again, reaching the left arm high, the right arm low, pass out and around through your T to split in the new direction, and then come up. Yeah, so we split, we circle to switch places, and then reach to the ceiling. Yeah, so it takes a little bit of thinking ahead, some nice coordination. Good, feeling super strong and stable through the shoulders as we take them through these nice long positions. Yes, if it's too much with the weights that you've got, feel free to drop and just go without. Yeah, let's do this 2 more times. Splitting, circling, switching, and lifting. Good, last time. All right, bring your arms down and give them a little bit of a rest. Okay, next we're going to take the weights back up, tap them together, and do an overhead reach. So leaving the backs of the ribs connected to the mat, we're going to breathe in and reach the arms overhead, and then exhale, come back. Inhale to reach, and then exhale to return. Good. The further the arms go, the more challenging that rib connection into the mat is. So really feel that work from the abs kind of increase to support the ribs staying in place. Good. Now, no need to take the arms too far, just kind of till the elbows line up with your temples. Yeah, something like that. All right, so now once we found our range, we're going to add on an ab curl to this. So when the arms return towards the legs, we're going to nod the chin and flex. The weights get close to the thighs, and then we lay back to the start. Yes, so we lower the arms, we flex the spine and round, and then release back down. Good. You don't have to add the ab curl if that doesn't feel good to you. If you want to keep using the weights, but your neck needs a little support, feel free to drop one weight, put the free hand behind your head, and then continue. Yeah, that's a really great modification to support our necks a little bit. Very good. Let's do this 2 more times, checking in that your low back still has that nice curve going on. And then lay yourself down and relax. All right, next we're going to bump up the challenge a little bit by lifting the legs up to tabletop. So keep your neutral spine if you can, or you can tuck under slightly if you need a little more support for the abdominals. So we're going to take our arms down on the mat next to us with our palms facing the ceiling and just take a couple of bicep curls. Okay, so just kind of getting this movement in our bodies a little bit. Exhale as you bend your elbows. Inhale to return. Good. Now, if your elbows are on the mat, this is a little bit easier. If you want to make it more challenging, hover your elbows just off of the floor. Yes, kind of keep that upper arm bone stable. Okay, we're going to keep adding on some layers. So if it gets to be too challenging, then just dial it back. From here, when our elbows bend, we're going to nod the chin and curl up into a flexion and then release back down as the arms reach. So we nod our chin and round up towards the weights that are coming in and then lower. Good. Now, just like before, if you're feeling this too much in your neck, drop one of your weights and place one hand behind your head. Good. And then you can just alternate to even yourself out. Very good. Let's do this 2 more times. So a lot more challenging to go up into that flexion against the weights. Good. Now curl up and stay, shoulder blades rounded, and let's do a couple reps of the arms holding this position. Good. Exhale, inhale. Good. Let's do 4 more. Squeeze the legs together. 3, 2, 1, and then rest all the way down. Whew. Very good, you guys. All right. Next, we're going to work our triceps. So legs go back up into our tabletop. We tap the weights together. Open the shoulders a little bit, and then we're going to bend and stretch the elbows, just letting the weights come right to our forehead and then back up. Yes, so get that elbow tipped nice and far back so the shoulder is nice and open. Good. You're welcome to squeeze the weights together to get a little bit deeper connection. All right, now just like before, when the elbows are straight, nod the chin and round up and off of the floor and then lay back down. Now for this one, it's more challenging the further back you keep the weight. So kicking more up to the ceiling is a lot more challenging, yes, than like reaching the weights to your shins, for example. So you pick the level that works best for you. Okay, weight staying over the head is harder. 2 more. Now last one, hold up and stay and just continue with the arms. Whew, that's not easy. Good, keep the elbows up and back. Up and back, weights go behind the head. 3, 2, 1, and then rest all the way down. Okay, next we're going to go into a bird dog. So the arms are going to reach up shoulder width apart. The legs are going to come to tabletop. Now we're going to exhale and reach opposite arm and leg away from each other. So one goes up, one goes down, and then we return. Reach and then in. And you can face your palms however feels best to you. I kind of like palms facing each other, kind of in towards our midline. Good, really feel long, like you could touch the sides of the room, squeeze the glute on that reaching leg. Very good. Okay, now you're welcome to keep your head down. We could bump this up a little bit by lifting the head, neck, and shoulders and staying up, which is not easy at all. Your arm might not go as far behind. That's okay. Switch. Good, let's do a few more here. If you want to go a little bit faster, 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 you can. 3, 2, 1, and then come down and relax. All right. Okay, last abdominal exercise here. We're going to do a double leg stretch with a circle of the arms. So tabletop your legs. Arms reach to the ceiling. We're going to breathe in and let the arms fall behind. So we've seen this movement already today. Now circle the arms out and around, nod your chin, roll your shoulders up and straighten your legs, and then return to the mat. That was a lot. So let's try that again. The arms go first. They open to a T. My chin nods. Now by the time my hands are to my hips, my legs are straight. My head is up. And then we lower down. Good. Let's take this nice and slow. So we really spend a lot of time in these positions, holding strong, and then lower down. Good. Let's do a couple more. Now you could absolutely do this without your head and shoulders coming off the mat. You could also do this without your legs extending. Yes, there's lots of ways to do this. So find the one that works best for you and your body. Let's do 2 more here. So good, you guys. Last one. And then give yourself a rest. Very nice. All right, come on up. So that was a lot of abdominals and chest and pecs in the front of the body. So we're going to even out by laying on our stomach and working out the back of our body. All right, so we're going to come down onto our stomach. Place the weights kind of right next to your shoulders and then rest your palms right on top. Legs are turned out about hip width apart. And then you're just going to kind of let your nose hover just barely off of the mat. Okay, now I just want you to take a couple of breaths here, breathing in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Good. And every time you exhale, I want you to feel a little bit of a pull of your abs away from the floor. Okay, that doesn't mean they'll physically come off the floor. Maybe they will, but energetically, you want to feel like a hugging sensation of the abs up and into the spine. Okay, let's do that 2 more times. So connecting to that breath here so we feel real stable through our lower back. Very good. So now I want you to breathe out. This time when we inhale, you're going to keep that sensation of the abs pulling in, and we're going to push off of our hands and just slowly and slightly lift our chest off the floor and then come back down. Good. And we'll do that again. So we're breathing in as we lift up. My lowest ribs are staying on the mat, and then we return. So it's just an upper back movement. And then release. Good. You want to feel your shoulder blades kind of drawing in and down along your spine. Good. Now it's okay to push off your hands a little bit here if that helps you come up slightly higher. Okay, we're not going to have them to rely on in a second. So enjoy it while it lasts. Very good. All right, let's do 1 more here. Just opening up that spine. Okay, now wrap your hands around your weights. The weights are now going to come off of the floor when our back lifts. So let's see what happens. We might not come up as high as we did before. So we're going to exhale to get ready, draw those abs up. Now inhale, just hover the weights however high up you can, and then set your body down. Very good. We lift, and then we lower. Yeah, so now the ribs are definitely staying down. No chance of them coming up now without the help of the arms. That's it. So hover and squeeze. Feel the glutes nice and connected. Awesome, you guys. And the elbows are just staying bent. Weights in tight by the shoulders. Good. If this is getting to be too much, you just let go of the weights and continue without them. Okay, so the next time we lift up, we're going to hold and stay. Punch your arms out to make a T, bend to return, and then set your body down. So good. 4 movements. 1, we lift. 2, we press. 3, we bend. And then 4, we lower. Good. Couple more times. Feel so strong from the waist down. So we're free to move from the ribs up. Good, you guys. Let's do 2 more sets. Really finding all of those 4 positions. Nice and clearly. All right, this time we're going to hold our T and stay. Now, swipe the arms down by the hips and lift your chest even higher, and then reach back out to your T. Do that again. From the T, we just lift, hands go to the thighs, and then circle back around. That is so not easy, keeping the weights off the floor. Lift and then lower. Drop them if you need to. We'll do 2 more. Chest up and then release. Last one, lift. Find your T, bend your elbows, and then set your body down. Whew. All right. Push back and just take a stretch over your heels. Oh, gonna give your back a break from all that extending. Okay, we're going to come back to our stomachs for one last thing, working more on our glutes and our hamstrings. So lay on your stomach, take the weights forward so that with straight arms, they're just resting under your palms, okay? And this will work with hand weights as well, just to elevate our hands a little bit above the floor. Okay, so our legs are turned out. I'm pushing into the weight so that I'm just kind of hovering, okay? My ribs are down, my ears are a little above my shoulders. Okay, now breathe out and find that lifting of the abs that we talked about a minute ago. And all we're gonna do is just some single leg lifts. Nice and easy. So we're breathing out on the lift. Inhale to lower. Good. You want to feel as if you're sliding that foot away from you on the floor on the lift. Yeah, so it's a lengthening to lift. Whew, so good. So the back isn't the mover, the back is strong, and the hip is really moving and opening. All right, now once you're evened out, we're going to lift both legs up together and then release. And really use this pressure of the hands into the weights to help you. It really gives us a little extra connection under the shoulders, helps us pull the abs away from the floor a little bit. Good, let's do 3 more. Looking down at your mat with a long neck. All right, now lift up and stay, and you're just going to go into a little swimming action with your legs. Yes, this is coming from our hips, not our knees. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the backs of the legs. Very good. Okay, now for me with my toning balls, this works pretty well. It should work with your hand weights as well. You don't have to do this part if it's not working, but if you'd like, when you breathe in, you're gonna roll the weights towards you a little bit, come up into a small back extension, and then exhale, roll the weights back away. Yeah, and the weights are just moving like maybe an inch in either direction. Inhale, lift, 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 little extra back extension, and then lower. Let's do 2 more times. Roll, and then release. Last one, and then go ahead and just set yourself down, and let's go back in to our stretch here. So hips over the heels. Breathe it out. Very good. Okay, now since we've kind of worked the front and the back, we're going to work on the sides of our body. So knees are going to be bent, head is supported by your bottom arm. Take your weight in your top hand. You want to feel your obliques that are next to the mat kind of drawing up and away just a little bit, kind of like we did with our abdominals when we were on our stomach. Same kind of idea. We want to feel like we're lifting rather than settling into the floor. Now take that weight. You're going to extend your top leg and just rest the weight kind of on the outside of your thigh. All right? You can flex your foot if you like, and then we're just going to lower and lift this top leg. Good. And you might feel your weight kind of rolling up and down along the thigh, or maybe it stays put in one place, whatever works for you. Okay. Now the weight will add a little bit of extra resistance, but you can also physically push with your hand if you want to make it feel a little bit more challenging. Okay. Good. So the hip is the mover. Make sure your waist isn't bobbing up and down. Good. Let's do this a few more times. So you can lift your leg as high and as low as you'd like, as long as it can stay parallel. Okay. Now pause with your leg kind of at hip height, and you're just going to bend your knee. Bring your leg up towards you and then kick it back away. Good. And you're keeping that desired pressure down with your hand to build up the intensity. In and then away. Good. Now as your knee comes in, make sure you're not tucking your low back under. You want to keep your nice neutral spine. Good. Let's do this 2 more times. And if it gets too intense, you don't have to push hard with your hand. You can also drop the weight if needed. Now, pause with the leg long, and we're going to do one of each. So you're going to tap and lift, bend, and stretch. Good. Lower, up, in, and out. So good. So working on the outer thighs, all those important muscles on the sides of the hips. Good. Let's do this a couple more times. The stronger your torso stays, the better. Yes, letting the lower body do the moving. All right, now the next time you bend your knee, you're going to pause, keep your thigh where it is, kick your foot forward till your leg is as straight as you can get it, and then just draw some really tiny little circles. And that is not easy. After this whole long set, 3, 2, now let's reverse it and go the other way. So circle, going in opposition. If it's too intense, you can bend the knee slightly. 3, 2, 1, bend the knee and then just rest the foot down. Ooh, awesome, you guys. Okay, last thing before we switch sides, we're just going to take a little stretch for our side body. So doing this holding the weight is more intense, a little less intense you can go without. So just bring your knees together into kind of a comfortable side sitting position. Come up on your bottom hand and then reach the arm down towards the feet. Okay, now you want to draw the ribs up away from the ground. You're going to raise this arm up and just let the weight fall over to the opposite side as far as is comfortable. And I'm kind of pushing my mat away with my bottom hand and then come back up. Yeah, and this is just a stretch. Yeah, so I'm pushing the floor away and I'm almost kind of rolling my sitting bones towards my heels to get as much stretch through the ribs as I can. Whew. Okay, let's do that a couple more times. The weight will kind of take the arm where we want it, which is really nice. All right, one last time. Okay, now making this a little bit bigger, the hips can come off of the floor, pressing forward as we side bend and then lower down. Good, so the hips pick up. See if your top knee can try to kind of roll towards the floor, and that'll make that a little bit more stretchy. So good. All right, last time here, you're gonna get to your side bend. Now rotate till you're looking at the floor, drop your weight and set that hand down. Now I just want you to round up like a Halloween cat as much as you can. Push the floor away and you should feel that stretch run all the way down to through your hip. Good, take a big breath or two here. And then we're just going to grab the weight, open back up to your side bend, and then sit your body down. Ah, that felt so nice. All right, let's do that on the other side. So come on down, start side lying, knees bent, lift up under the waist, and then get that weight secured. Okay, the top leg is long, and then we start lifting and lowering. Yeah, so starting back with kind of the simplest layer and then building back up. So good. Feel your chin kind of pulling back away from your chest. So you're in that longest spine possible. All right, now pause with the leg up and you're gonna bend and stretch. Right about at hip height. Knee comes in and then out. Yes, and the pressure from the hand is coming from above, down onto the side of the thigh. Kind of like right on that IT band. That's kind of where my weight has ended up. In and out. So good. No tucking the spine. Okay, let's do 2 more and then we'll alternate. So we kick out long and we tap and lift 1 time and then we bend and stretch 1 time. Lower and lift, in and out. So good. Kicking that heel kind of back enough that your thigh gets fully open. Good. Let's do this 2 more full times and then we'll go into those awesome circles. So now pause with the knee bent, kick the foot forward and little spirals. Good. Keep the press with the hand if you can. And reverse it. Almost done. Circle, circle, circle. 3, 2, 1. Now bend the knee and then relax. Oh, very good. Okay, come on up for that well-deserved stretch. So knees and ankles kind of together, just somewhat comfortable, kind of tucked up towards your hips, and then weight in the top hand. Okay, here we go. We're gonna push away from that hand on the floor as we side bend. And then release and lower the arm. So just allow your eyes to kind of follow that weight wherever it goes. Yes, and the goal here is to stretch. So don't feel like you're gripping anywhere that you don't need to be. Yeah, you want to feel supported at the shoulder, but everywhere else is just trying to open and release. All right, let's do this 1 more time and then we'll add the hip lift. Okay, here we go. Let the pelvis come off. Post up on your shins. Ooh, maybe that hand can go a little bit further and then down. Good, move nice and slow and controlled. So you're kind of in charge of the pace, not the weight. Good, we'll do 2 more. Make lots of space between the rib and the hip. All right, last one. Now twist and set the weight down, hand to the floor, and just push away. Good, hollow out. See if this top knee can get closer to the ground. Good, send your inhale wherever it feels tight. Okay, grab the weight, open back to your side bend, and then come on down. And with that, you guys, we are all done. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Mat Pilates workout using hand weights. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up below. Leave me a comment if you have any feedback or requests for future videos. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on your notifications and please share this video with a friend. And I'll see you next time. Bye.